All right, hello everyone. Excuse me, my voice immediately got gunky as I started saying hi. But hello everyone, we are going to be playing some more Falcon 4 BMS. So we are continuing a campaign that I started offline. Let me pause it while I'm talking, and I'm evaluating the situation as we're going right now, trying to figure out what missions we're going to be doing. Because we have this tank battalion with a whole bunch of units here still up. And then we've got, I saw one over here, but it looks like it's disappeared. So we might have just lost visual on it. There's a whole bunch more tanks over here, but they're kind of far away for our aircraft's range. We have to give up our ECM pod. Yeah, hi Airshow, how are you? The beautiful, beautiful graphics, and this window takes up like maybe an eighth of my total screen. It's tiny on my monitor, but I've got it blown up in OBS so you can actually see it. I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna hit next, because I've already got some CAS missions smacking down some tanks over here. And the other thing I was planning to hit disappeared. I think this is actually like 1200, something like that. So this air defense battalion, yeah, their radar's down, but they still have some launchers. I'm just going to leave them be for now, because I don't think where they are there's any chance they're going to get a new fire control radar. I'd like to hit those tanks over here, but we don't really quite have the nice range for that. Let's see what other air defenses are around here. I have no clue what any of these are. KS-19s, yeah, no clue. Let's look at this airbase, 100% operational. There's hardly like any aircraft operational for us to attack anyway. Let's look at second rotor. They're pretty much destroyed. HQ. Here's a bunch of tanks. So we can add a package to strike these tanks here. And let's take a look at what our dangers are. There's an 85% operational air defense, but their fire control radar is gone, as far as Intel says, so that should be safe enough. Same with this one, I think. Yep. So let's add a package. We're going to put in our F-16, a pair of them. Target the 104th HQ Battalion. All right. And then we will add a second package of 2 more to help us take these things out. All right. Our time on target, or actually we're going to adjust our takeoff time to as early as we can, which is going to be really only about 7:50 Zulu time. So we're going to need to wait to get everything online. And while we're at it, we'll add a package, new. Let's do a deed mission. We'll have them take off right about the same time. All right, and let's, yeah, so this is the one we wanted. We'll take flight lead. We'll check our loadout. We're going to want, instead of the Mavericks that they're going to give us, we will want to take, let's see, a CBU 105. We're starting to run low on those, but if we need to, we can switch to the CBU 97s, I think they are, which are basically the same thing in this game. Our air-to-air, we've got 2 Sidewinders, 2 AMRAAMs. I don't know if we'll actually have anything to shoot those at. And then we'll get our sniper targeting pod. Good. Got 12,000 pounds of fuel. Okay. Yeah, they've got a guidance kit, and as far as I understand, the guidance kit doesn't make a difference in Falcon BMS because they both fall ballistically, and I think BMS turns off wind having an effect on munitions because of something with causing problems to the AI. The AI like can't compensate for it and can't hit things. All right, we'll save our mission file. And then what I'm going to do is we're going to move over to Weapon Delivery Planner. So we got to open up our mission file. And our package is 2203. Oh, actually, I made a bit of a mistake here. A couple other things we're going to want to do. Yeah, so we're going to get our comm plan. We'll load that up. IFF, we have to load that. Then save our data cartridge. So let's check our target steer points and make sure there aren't any set. Yep, we're clear. All right, so Jaguar 7, that's our group. And then we will go to update knee boards because we don't really need to change anything else in here. Set default, save. This will get us knee boards in game that are extremely useful depending on the mission. All right. Everything should be set. The takeoff time is at 7:50. It's 7:23, so we can time accelerate a little bit here so we know what's going on until we get closer to our takeoff time. You see there's one bogey here, one bogey here. They'll probably be completely gone by the time we get in the air. We're gonna accelerate until we get to about 7:30 before I take off. Looks like we got some Hornets. The Hornets have been really cleaning up the airspace for us. Oh, I forgot to transition back to BMS here. So yeah, we got one bandit here, one bandit here. Those might be flights of multiple aircraft. We don't know until something actually spots them out and figures out what they are. And then once we get into the air, we'll have AWACS to tell us what's going on. All right, let's stop. Well, we already saved before, so we're just going to take off now. We're going to start on the ramp just so we have some more time to deal with whatever we might need to. And hopefully our engine start won't have a failure, because last mission I played in this, we actually had a jet fuel or JFS start failure, and I had to request. Oh, you're not getting game audio, are you? Let me get that fixed. All right. I also got to switch over Falcon BMS capture so you see the whole window. There you go. All right, canopy closed. Let's get everything else turned on and start it up. Lights on. Air source to normal. Start 2. Yeah, I haven't had any like oil pressure failures. It's just so far been that one. I hit the JFS start and it started spooling a little bit, and then it just kind of stopped. And then I requested a recharge from the tower, waited until it was done, and everything was fine. Let's get our comms turned on. ILS on. Oxygen on, engine anti-ice auto. And now we wait. Oh, it's up. All right, engine on. Let's get our avionics turned on. And as to align, we'll just get the instrument lights on, turn on the hard points. I don't remember which was, well, it's our right hard point that has the targeting pod, but I just turn them both on because I'd rather not forget. Let's lock our canopy, get RWR started up, and countermeasures turned on. Auto head-mounted queuing system on, lights to taxi. And we have to hit this FLCS reset. And we have to hit FAC and master caution. Our seat's not armed, there's nothing above us. All right, so let's arm our seat. Okay, then go to data cartridge load. System test the RWR. Ow, my ears. Hand off the RWR. Oh, still running. There we go. And then we're probably going to be having everything booted up before it's ready for us to take off. All right, so INS is aligning. Next, we got to go to the list, miscellaneous, get my cord out of the way of my numpad so I can actually hit these things. Next I need is HMCS sequence. We got to turn on our HUD. We have to calibrate our head-mounted queuing system. I need to zero my track IR before we do this. All right, that's aligned. Yeah, well, you kind of have to start your airplane with care in some ways, because like if I don't turn on certain things, you get failures. So like I have to turn on probe heat, otherwise things go wrong, and I have to turn on engine anti-ice, otherwise things go wrong. All right, let's go back to the INS page. INS is aligned, good. And then comms, we got to put back up to the upper front console. There we go. And here's a trick that I didn't realize. If you're on this front page and you hit the sequence button, you switch the little bug thingy around, and you can press the up and down button to change channels. And that's really useful because the arrow keys in BMS are bound to this. And then this up down is the plus and minus on your numpad. So you can very easily switch channels. Let's put our parking brake on, remove EPU, remove chocks. All right. And everything should be good. Do a final check to make sure I'm not missing anything. All right. Let me put the pilot back on, and we can get our important information we need. Like this page, we need our view rotation. And then this page has like all of our waypoints and information that we might want. Oh, since we are in a multi-ship package, we can set up our data link. Nope. List, data link, sequence. Then we want 2. Oh, wrong 2. It has to be numpad 2. So 2 1, enter, and 2 2, enter. Make sure that works and see if those guys are even on our data link yet. Okay, so my wingman is, but the other guys are not, which is understandable. Let's request a taxi for departure.
Jaguar, 7, 2-ship, F-16s. Request taxi. Good afternoon. Jaguar, 7, your number 2 for departure. All present position. Expected taxi, time 0744. Give way to Spade, 6, 2,
And
16, taxiing.
judging from our position, fixed F-16 is landing. Judging from our position, we are here. And supposedly, we're going to be taking off from runway 36. I don't think that will actually be the case, because ATC tends to just decide which runway you're taking off at that time. We might be able to request it again and speed things up. If I take off using the taxiway, air traffic control gets angry at me. All right, we can do some time acceleration to get us closer to our taxi time.
Cajun 2-1, request taxi back.
Cajun 2-1, taxi to the ramp. Welcome back.
Cajun 2-2, request taxi back.
Let's see, we are Jaguar 7, okay.
Welcome back.
Jaguar 7, 2-ship, F-16s. Request taxi. Jaguar 7, your number 2 for departure. All present position. Expected taxi time 0744.
All right. Oh.
Give way to Spade 6-2 F-16 taxiing Papa. Spade 6-2-ship F-16s. Request taxi. Good afternoon. Spade 6. You are number 1 for departure. Taxi Papa. Echo.
Okay, I'm probably going to be in the way right now.
Taxiing.
So let's move out of the way. Because I think that's Spade behind me. So they should take this line and I'll just go up to this park point. Or he's stuck. He's not within our view from that. I think there's like not enough space for him to actually taxi, or at least not enough for the AI to comfortably taxi.
Jaguar 7, 2 ship F-16.
Oh.
Request taxi.
He's moving.
Jaguar
Perfect.
7, your number 2 for departure. All present position.
Sometimes traffic jams can ruin all of your planning.
0744. Give way to Spade 6-2 F-16 taxiing Papa.
Spade, you're holding up everybody's flight departures. Come on, man. These guys are seed, so they've got some harm missiles on them.
Jaguar 7 taxiing Papa. Echo. And hold short runway 18.
All right, wingman. Come on, wingman. You gonna join me? Sometimes they're slow and they don't join you until you actually get like takeoff clearance. All right. I don't know if you guys are seeing it, but the fire control radar screen keeps like blinking. I think it's just my screen is being weird. It's gonna be annoying if we get into air combat. Oh yeah, my radar just blinked off. Oof. So our wingman, yeah, our wingman's behind us. That's good. Oh, we're getting a Patriot painting us with its radar. That happens a lot. They like have to lock you up to IFF or something screwy.
Jaguar 7-1 contact tower for takeoff. Switch to 29230.
All right, we'll hold short. Switch to preset 3, which is tower.
Cruise on tower, wing 190 at 8 knots, runway 18. You are cleared for takeoff.
Switch to takeoff lights. Get the fire control radar set up and the radar altimeter turned on. Ready for departure.
Jaguar 7, 2 ship F-16s. Ready for departure.
Spade 6, contact departure. Jaguar 7, hold short.
Jaguar 7, 2 ship F-16s.
Call it again to speed it up.
Jaguar 7, cruise on tower, wing 190 at 7 knots, runway 18. You are cleared for takeoff.
All right. Let's line up on the runway. wait for our wingman. Come on, buddy. You can do it. You can do it. I believe in you. All right, all good. Brakes on, throttle up. The rotate is 167. Rotate. Gear up.
Jaguar 7-1, contact departure.
All right, departure.
2, airborne.
Yo, we're airborne.
Jaguar 7, airborne, 2-ship, F-16s. Jaguar 7, Kumasan, departure. Fly heading 115, resume on navigation.
Turn 115. All right, and then we're gonna switch over to the AWACS channel for our flight.
Jaguar 7-2, on my way.
All right, we'll get our autopilot on. And I'll set up a couple other systems because we want our missile floor to be 15,000 feet. And then we want our steer points to auto increment. There we go. And we're going to climb to this point we have in our HSD. And then turn around, because this seems to be the standard way that the missions route traffic after takeoff. Let's get AWACS, request a picture.
Dragnet 6, Jaguar 7-1, request picture.
2, in position. Jaguar 7-1, Dragnet 6, picture clear.
Picture clear, that's good news. We got a radar contact in front of us, but it's friendly. Let's do a data link so that, yeah, the other flight is still on the ground. You got a nice big pair of CBUs on either side. Uh, 18 on our RWR. And we're going to be in the boring part of flight where we ingress and climb. Not much happens, hopefully. Things were a lot more hectic at the start because you would basically take off from the runway at this airbase, fly full afterburner, maintaining about like 300 knots and climbing up as high as you can, and then immediately you'd like be right where you needed to be to release munitions and hit a SAM site, because the enemy had SAM sites built up like right before everything kicked off. It's going to send directly to waypoint 4A because we don't need that middle one. We've got our wingman still over here. Let's get our situation display up a bit so you can see all the SA2 threat rings. Most of those are not really active because we've taken out the radar. The seed missions have all successfully taken out the fire control radar, but we haven't done complete destruction of them yet. So while we wait, how's everybody doing today? Anything fun on the plans for Mother's Day? You were going to stream, but then you forgot to. I have had it happen before where I put a stream on my schedule and then I'm like, yeah, I'm totally going to stream. And then I just completely slipped my mind and forgot. Man, with these CBUs, the Falcon is just so heavy. Oh, let's turn our landing lights off. And radar, yeah, radar is warmed up and it's running. Let's switch to the targeting pod and to make sure that's on. Yeah, targeting pod is timed out, so it can run. Good. We might want that later. Well, actually, we're gonna need that later to see our targets. That's what I'm wondering. I'm a little tempted to get the Viper module already, but it is like $80, and I'm not sure. Okay, we're losing a bit of speed, so let's switch to altitude hold and bring that up. All right, and we're going to turn to our next steer point. Yeah, and that steer point should be over there. Okay, while we're at it, let's power up our CBUs. And let's switch our, actually, we might want the ground radar up on that, so we're just going to leave that where it is. I normally switch that over to air radar just in case. We got some radar contacts in front of us, so let's IFF interrogate, and we got a whole mess of friendlies in front of us. So many aircraft up there. Holy crap. Shrink down this so we know where we are relative to that dotted line, because that dotted line is roughly the front line steer point setup that I put. Oh, we got a contact with no IFF response here. AWACS, what is this?
6, Jaguar, 71, group, bullseye, 270.
Oh, we got a hostile.
25,000, declare.
Jaguar 71, Dragnet 6, contact confirmed hostile.
He's quite a ways out, though, isn't he? And master arm on. You can see him. He's on my radar here in the lower left MFD. He's a little white box, and that's all you can really see of it. And we're intermittently losing it, so I think it's probably 29. I think our allies up ahead are going to take care of it, as he's heading straight towards them. And now I can't fire because he's in a furball here. Let's go to air mode, and we might be able to see what he is. It looks like an FA-18 that we're locked onto. Alright, yeah, I think he's gone now. But we'll keep an eye out. Oh shit, missile?
Chat, flare. Altitude.
Okay, I think that wasn't at us, but let's not take any chances, and let's also fence in. Wingman, fence in.
Fenced in.
2.
All right, let's make a climbing, gentle left turn to try to conserve what energy we just lost and get back up to an ideal altitude to not get wrecked by missiles, although we didn't get an altitude warning. So our intercom, yeah, our intercom's volume is up, so I don't know what happened there. Some FA-18s off to our left. Search radar off to the front, but it's that's probably AWAC since it's got the little up in the air carrot. Our stream team will be the Soy Boys. Yes. I am heavily tempted to buy the MiG-21 so I can join you in DCS. Oh, and we got a whole bunch of radar contacts in front of us. Some of which might be hostile, some of which might be friendly. I have no real way of knowing, at least not with them that close, because AWACS is probably going to be like, hey, it's a furball of people. I know nothing about the MiG-21 other than I really love its aesthetics, but I think its aesthetics is second to the MiG-15. Now let's do attitude hold again, and we'll get us on our bearing. Oh, I didn't turn steering selection on, so we just turned past it. Oops. Oh, so with the MiG-21, it's like flying a MiG-15 plus 2 MiG-3s. Is that how that math works? Okay, so it looks like we're all friendly aircraft. Let's ask AWACS for the nearest air threat.
Dragnet 6, Jaguar 7-1. Request vector to threat.
Jaguar 7-1, Dragnet 6, nearest threat box 31982 41,000. Tracking hostile Prince MiG-23.
All right, so that is quite far away. Let's get our targeting pod set up. So we should be possibly within range of seeing enemies soon. Or actually, no, they're quite a ways out, aren't they? Because that's our marker. That's beyond the render distance, I think. So we're just going to continue lazily cruising, and I'm going to switch back to altitude hold so we can gain some speed here. I'm wondering if maybe I should start considering dropping fuel tanks, but maybe I'll do that only if I get into air combat. Although I don't know how draggy the fuel tanks actually make this thing, because I don't think aside from the training missions, I don't think I've flown it without the fuel tanks. Because you gotta have a lot of fuel. I think they're limited, but the other thing is that sometimes you get failure for your gear to drop. And the current checklists, I know they don't say this, but the first time I started playing Falcon BMS, part of the gear checklist was like trying to land without your landing gear fully extended. Part of it was if you don't have the tanks on, you should just point your aircraft in a safe direction and punch out, because trying to land without empty underwing tanks is a death sentence. And I'd like to, not have my pilot die and not lose the aircraft. All right, we're a bit closer, so let's check our targeting pod. I think we can barely start to see things now. I don't know what we're looking at here. Let's check our radar. See if our radar tells us what we're looking at. I got no clue. Hopefully what I'm looking at is a giant column of enemy tanks.
Request permission to engage.
Permission to engage what? Nearest air target.
Dragnet 6, Jaguar 7-1. Request vector to threat.
Nothing? Okay, what do you want to engage, Mr. Number 2? Do those look like vehicles to you guys? Oh, we might get a better picture in a second when these clouds clear. Let the sensor fuse weapons figure that out, yeah. Yeah, these look like vehicles. All right, let's SMS. We need to control. I keep forgetting to do this. I like that. I've had more success having these detonate at 1,000 feet, so let's try that. And then, all right, HSD back. All right. Turn off the steering select, altitude hold on still. And now we gotta fly up the line. It's a nice big column of tanks here. We're getting close to our first release queue. Hold down the pickle button. What? There we go.
CBU's way.
Pick another target. Turn on to target. We'll enter a bit of a dive. There we go.
CBU's way.
I'll turn around. Oh god.
Chaff,
Missile.
flare. Chaff, flare. Chaff, flare.
Okay, so there is a short-range air defense somewhere around us that we're gonna have to watch out for. Yay, first cluster gun weapon is hitting. All right. Oh, back to this. So it looks like 2 good hits. We still got 2 more cluster bombs to fire. Hey, the U.S. never signed the agreement for not using cluster bombs. Thank you very much. And these ones are sensor fused. So that makes them fine. Besides, these are like the only way you can actually take out tanks en masse. Yeah, part of what I don't, well, I can kind of understand the cluster bombs not being used, but at the same time, if I just drop a whole, dropping a whole bunch of small diameter bombs is accepted, which doesn't make sense because they both have the same problem of they leave behind mass numbers of small munitions. All right,
CBU's way.
next one. All right,
CBU's way.
that's all of our bombs. So then we'll tell our,
Caution.
we got to switch our load cat. There we go. Now it's happy. Stimulating the Southeast Asian prosthetics market. But yeah, like if I drop a whole crap load of bombs, there's no problem with that. But if I drop a cluster bomb, there's a problem, although they both pose really the same risk of munitions failing and exploding later. All right, let's bring back up our HSD.
Stage 7-1. Package leaving push point.
And we can watch our bomb fall. Woo! Hey, there's the first hit. And the second one, boom. Perfect. All right, so now we find the next set. And we tell our wingman, not AWACS, wingman, attack my target.
Jaguar 7-2. Attack target at bearing 36010.
2, we'll go.
All right, let's follow our wingman over there. Make sure he doesn't get into any trouble. Let's put our targeting pod into ground mode. So that way it can see what he hits. All right, back to the targeting pod. All right. We've got our ally on radar, so we can see what he's doing. Although, dude, why are you flying away from the target? Excuse me, sir. You are you're supposed to fly towards the target and bomb it. Where are you going, bro?
Jaguar 7-2. Weapons free.
2, we'll go. Let's do it.
Oh, he's coming back in for an attack, it looks like. There he is. Who's the best girl? Viper
2,
Zero.
watching.
Wait, what? Punching? What does that mean? Punching out? Oh shit. What the hell shot you down? Well, let's get the crap out of here. AWACS, vector to nearest air threat.
6. Jaguar 7-1. Request
Is nothing. So what the hell shot him down? SA-15?
Controlling, but nothing's good.
Yeah, we do have an SA-15. He is shooting at me.
Flare. Chaff. Flare. Chaff. Flare. Chaff. Flare.
Yeah, all fun and games till your wingman punches out. All right, we're gonna have to fly back with Seed at some point and take out these pesky short-range air defenses. All right, how's our fuel situation? We're at 7,300. That's pretty good. That's basically all of our internal fuel still full. Let's switch to waypoint home. And we can actually go to the cruise menu.
Speed 7 in.
And if we go to this menu, we can see our optimal altitude for cruising, as well as our optimal speed. To conserve the most fuel. I don't think fuel is actually a resource that is calculated in these, because nothing has told me about it. But I could be very wrong about that. Got a bunch more friendly aircraft up to the front. A new mission coming up. I don't have any planned quite yet, but if there's going to be short-range air defenses, I'm going to want to try to take those out. We've got a MiG-29 behind us. AWACS.
Dragnet 6, Jaguar 7-1. Request vector to threat.
Shit, he's close.
Jaguar 7-1, Dragnet 6, nearest threat, 36018 1000. Hot, bogey, print, MiG-29, 2 ship.
That's like over here. I don't see him now. Is this them? No, those are friendlies. He's right in front of me on the RWR. I don't like this. Should be only 18 nautical miles out, so that should be well within our radar range.
Spade 7, Dragnet 6, be advised, threat aircraft bearing 32527 1000.
I don't see him. He was on the deck with this, oh, is this him?
Dragnet 6, Jaguar 7-1. Crew, bullseye 29553 17,000. Declare.
Jaguar 7-1, Dragnet 6, Fury Ball 1, friendly, 1 standard.
That's a MiG-29. Let's just double.
Box 2.
No, he just shot down an F-16, didn't he?
Spade 7, Dragnet 6, be
Fox
advised,
2.
threat aircraft bearing 30523 1000.
Splash! Got him! Nice.
Altitude. Altitude.
Anything else?
Dragnet 6, Jaguar 7-1. Request vector to threat.
Jaguar
Okay, that's the guy we just shot down.
nearest threat, 3401 13,000. Dragging. Hostile print, MiG-29, Singleton.
We got an triple A. Let's kind of starting to pick us up. And then an SA-15. Let's make sure we get above that.
Counter, counter,
Fuck!
counter, 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 counter,
Phase
counter,
7, right at
counter,
6, be advised, threat aircraft bearing 280-231
counter,
south.
counter, 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 chaff, flare.
All right, let's try to get above where they can shoot at us. Oh, I forgot about that guy. That battery in this location has shot me down before. So I don't actually know how to quickly jettison the tanks. Is it the panic? Or does the panic drop all your weapons?
Phase 7, right at 6, be advised, threat aircraft bearing 27011.
Okay. Yeah, okay. That's good to know about. I should bind that to something that I can hit more easily. Okay, Patriots in front of us, B behind us, but B is the SA-2 search radar, I believe. You can actually check that.
Phase 7, right at
Okay,
6,
B is
be advised, threat
SA-5.
aircraft bearing 26011.
We aren't Spade, are we? I forgot my call sign. We can check that, though. We are Jaguar, okay. $50, what is a 50? I don't actually know that. But I've never had something that's 50 call me. I wonder how well the tanks do work as chaff. All right, how's our fuel? Our fuel's down to 6,000, which is not bad, but it's not great. 50 is a Hawk. What's the Hawk? The
Phase 7,
AWACS?
right at 6, be advised, threat aircraft bearing 24012 2000.
Ah, it's an older SAM system, okay. Oh, the Hawk. Oh, okay, I know what that is from Wargame Red Dragon. All right, we are.
Phase 7, right at 6, be advised, threat aircraft bearing 24017 4000.
We are like 4 nautical miles out. I'm gonna have to actually turn down comms at some point because like I'm on the minimum volume for this and they're pretty loud. But we're almost 40 nautical miles out from our air base. Let's turn a bit, and then we'll start descending. Actually, what terrain are we over right now? Okay, yeah, we're not going to start descending because on that river there is another short-range air defense somewhere. Yeah, I've got this on minimum in the cockpit. Any lower and it's off. But I haven't changed it in the menu. That's nearest threat. Nothing, okay. Let's see what we're over now. Okay. So that AAA was a bit further back, so we're safe to do a shallow dive now. And then watch me flub the landing, because I've been having a lot of trouble with landing recently. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't cursor zero on my targeting pod.
Altitude.
Yep, I know. More Patriots locking me up. It was also really cool because we've got like 3 Patriot systems around this airbase. Then at one point I was coming into land and they were just like all rapidly firing at some a flight of 4 MiG-29s that were hot behind me. All right, let's contact the tower. Request unrestricted approach. Runway 18, all right. Let's set our QNH. 2986, there we go. '18 on RWR, that's fine. More Patriots, more FA-18s. Yep. Oh, nuclear plant over there. Fun. All right. Tower, request landing.
Jaguar 7-1, Kunshan Tower. Continue inbound for runway 18. Report on final.
Put our speed brakes down just to drop some more speed and let us drop some more altitude to get to where I want to be before landing. Drop our gear. Looks like we've got next to no crosswind, which is good. We're going to say we're on final right now.
Jaguar 7-1 on final.
Jaguar 7-1, Kunshan Tower. Continue inbound for runway 18.
Come right a little bit.
Jaguar 7-1, Kunshan Tower. Wing 190.
3 lights for the gear, all good.
18, cleared for landing. Check gear down.
And we'll make our careful approach. We're looking pretty good for glide slope, I think. Oh, a little low, come on. Bring it back up. And a pretty good touchdown. Keep our flare. Wait for the nose to drop, and then we'll see where we can pull off. Okay, we're going to miss that, so we're not going to brake quite as hard so we can get down to the end of the runway a bit faster. Turn nose wheel steering on before I forget.
Jaguar 7-1, contact below. Switch to 73525.
And request. Oh,
Singleton F-16s. Request taxi. Jaguar 7-1. Request taxi back.
Jaguar 7-1,
clear all the way in, good.
you are cleared all the way in.
Let's close our speed brakes. Yeah, they are closed. And then we gotta find a parking spot, because I don't think we have an assigned taxi back location. And I suspect if we just leave our aircraft sitting around randomly, it'll cause traffic problems until it actually gets removed. All right. End the mission. Oh, I forgot.
Distinguished by meritorious achievement, you are hereby awarded the Air Medal.
Yay, I got an award. Let's switch over to big capture. And it's going to disappear. There we go. I mean, yeah, I don't think they do despawn quickly because I flew an entire mission and landed, and then the crew was still visible on the flight list as landing for like the next 10 minutes. All right, so related. So our wingman was rescued. One of the guys from the other element is KIA, unfortunately. And we hit two things with sidewinders. We hit that MiG-29 with both those sidewinders, it looks like. So that's a good kill. And we got 4 CVU hits, and our wingman got shot down before doing anything, as is his way. I am wondering if we want to try to do some air-to-air combat and find some things to shoot at, but I don't know if there's actually going to be enough targets, because if we switch to intel, and we go to force levels, and we switch this to aircraft, we can see how few aircraft they have, although we've been starting to lose quite a few aircraft. So we could do an intercept and just try to shoot some of these guys over here, but we don't have much intel on what's going on in this area, I don't think, or there's just nothing going on. So I think our options are we try to ferret out that air defense that got us, or almost got us, but got our wingman and another guy. And we do a seed or dead mission on him, or we do some seed and dead on some of these other air defenses here. Although I suspect that's what these FA-18s are doing. Yeah, because this guy lost his radar. Yeah, we could. But the problem is I don't know. Oh, I guess I do know where those SA-15s are. I was just about to say I don't actually know where they are, but they are right here. SA-15 right there. Does this one have a gun on it? And I guess we do have a couple fighters flying around here, so we can mission schedule. So these guys are ingressing. Well, Spade 7 is already shot down. Let's recon these guys again. So we hit them a good, we hit them a good amount, but not quite enough. I suspect part of the issue is that I didn't set the loadout on Spade 7. Did they just not get ground munitions at all? What the hell? Okay, so we're gonna add a package. We'll add a flight of 4. Pre-planned CAS. They're going to be veteran. Okay. So we'll add them, and then we will add a new. And we're going to do the easy thing here, and we're going to make this interception. So that way I don't have to deal with stupid mission requirement thingy-mabobs, and we'll just make sure that we get on target before them. And yeah, 2 ship, 16s, there we go. Time on target, we want to be Actually, we want our takeoff time to be as soon as possible. So 8:56 should just about do it. And our interception mission is, of course, not running right. So we need to be on station before the CAS guys. So they're going to be on station 923. Our interception 0.3 is going to be at 9, so we're going to be there for them, which is perfect. I'll just move there. CAS guys, all right, you are going to get they've been given the CBUs properly. That's nice. Okay, good. You don't need those AMRAMs. Actually, air to air, you're gonna get AMRAM Bs. Since we're starting to get a little low on the Cs. And then you can get some Sidewinders because you don't need the extra weight. All right. Interception, loadout. Let's bring AMRAM Cs. We will swap to AIM-9 Sidewinders in some of our hard points. And we're starting to get low on some things, but our scheduled next resupply is at 900 Zulu time, so we don't really have to worry about that too much. And I entirely forgot that I was going to have music playing, so we'll just start that. And I'll minimize that. All right, so we should, let's get our comm plan, an IFF plan, which might just be the same as they always have been for recent missions, because it changes on time and stuff, I think. All right, saved okay. We'll save this campaign. I'll go into Weapon Delivery Planner. Open the next mission. Your package 2591. We're going to be Jaguar 6. Our rotate speed is even higher than usual. Let's update our knee boards. Oh, wait, this is loading the wrong flight. I gotta run this again. Yep. I'm actually gonna throw on a targeting pod, so our loadout's not gonna be quite perfectly accurate, but it should be good enough. Because the sniper pod is very useful for identifying enemy air contacts even. And let's update our knee boards. Rotation speed is only 154 this time, which is what I would expect because we're not carrying all those CBUs this time. All right, kneeboard set. We will go directly into the less big BMS, and I'm going to take off. So we're going to be taking we're going to be on the ramp in less than 20 minutes, which would mean we don't have to do much time acceleration to get everything going. Get rid of the pilot model. All right, same startup as always. Canopy, probe heat, normal fuel, normal IFF, lights all on. Main power, start 2, air source to normal. Comms set up. Engine anti-ice on, oxygen on. Wait for 20% RPM. All right, there we go. Ouch. Hi, Kimion. Thanks for the missile. We are flying air-to-air interception, counter-air stuff today, or at least in this mission. So we're going to need all the missiles we can get. Avionics all on. Power up our hard points and our radar. Turn our internal lights on just so I can see things. Let's get our canopy sealed. RWR on. Flip on the countermeasures. Chaff and flare. Auto. Head-mounted queuing system on. ECM on, because I don't want to forget my ECM this time. And FLCS reset. Fault acknowledge, good. And then data cartridge load. Hand off the RWR. Got an F-16. Yeah, this pair that's coming in for a landing, hitting us with their radar. Do I do any multiplayer? I do not at the moment because I have not found people to play with, basically. I'm on the Hoggit Discord, and that's got a community, but the time of flights has just not matched up yet. Ouch. Thanks for another missile. All right, let's get our comms. Parking brake first. Remove EPU, remove chocks. Hello there, Mr. Wingman. I hope you'll do well this time because our other wingman did not do so well last time. Nah, I don't want to really try any multiplayer right now today. Oh, then we need to do head-mounted queuing system. Let's get this set up, and we gotta turn our HUD on first. All right, aligned, okay. Everything is looking good. Can clear our faults. Fire control radar is in standby. There's a public server for BMS. I didn't. Oh, the Hoggett guys said that there aren't any. So if there are, it's good to know. Okay, let's taxi for departure.
Good evening, Panther 1. You are number 1 for departure. Taxi Papa Echo. Then hold short runway 18.
Taxi lights on. Hold short runway, run 18, which is this direction. Oop, 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 oop. Don't oversteer. And our fire control radar currently does not like soy. We'll change that once we take off because we are doing fighter stuff today. Oh. Oopsie. It should work out right. No problem. INS is aligned enough. More F-16s landing. At this airbase, I've only seen F-16s, and I once saw a singular A-10 land. The last campaign we were doing, there were all sorts of F-15s landing all the time. Oh, you know what else we forgot to set up? Is our data link. So we have one. No, not that one. We have. Okay, let's just actually wait until we hold short, and I'll program this so that I don't have to forget what I'm doing. No texting and driving children. No texting and driving children.
Caution. Caution.
Holy crap, Kamini, thank you for the raid. Why didn't the raid message pop up? Oh, there we go. Oh, God. My ears. Yeah, no problem. Yesterday, I saw you were collabing with a Monty, and y'all were having quite a fun time in that game. Let me get my data link set up here. So we need 11, enter 12, 13, 14, enter. Okay, so that's set up. We got to take off, so I'm gonna not be able to quite talk to chat right now because we are on a timeline.
Caution.
Let's get our radar altimeter on. Fire control radar on. All right, we're cleared for takeoff. Wind is off of our right.
Caution.
Oh God, all the follows. I'll get to you after we take off. I have a very, very poor record of checking chat while taking off. All right, let's line up on the runway. We're gonna be on the left here because our wingman is gonna be off our right. Hold our brakes. Come on, wingman.
Caution.
Come on, wingman.
Caution.
Come on, pull up. You can do it. Don't be so slow. Don't be shy. I got you. I got you. All right, all good. Brakes full. Throttle max. I forgot my landing release. We're going to full afterburner. Our view rotate is 158. So we're going to hit 158 in that caret on the left. And then I'm going to rotate. Rotate. Positive rate of climb, gear up. And let me get my pilot model back up. Here we go. So I should have had this up a little earlier. All right, contact departure. And then once I'm done with that, we should be good for me to actually check what the heck is going on.
Airborne, 2-ship, F-16s, 1000. 1, time, departure, depart heading 030.
030. Okay, we got to turn and follow that departure. Let's pull back so we're not on afterburner. Get to that heading, and I'll get us in a climb, and then I'll check chat. Once we're on 60. Come on, keep turning, keep turning. Scroll through chat. Oh god. Okay, I'm checking chat on my phone. Good luck, pilot. Thank you, Captain Fourleaf. Yeah, I'm flying an F-16. Oh, let me actually, we want to be on AWACS channel, so that way we know if we're going to be about to get killed. And I got to actually adjust my climb, because we have a very light aircraft in this configuration. Let me set my missile floor to. Okay, that's set. Okay. So we got Ermic. Thank you for the follow. Chibi Ichiro, thank you for the follow. Captain Fourleaf, thank you for the follow. Sumiko May, thank you for the follow. I think that's everybody, and hopefully my feed isn't scrolled, and that looks like it. Okay. And yes, that was a missile. You can use the missile redeem, and you throw a missile at me. Am I flying with a flick and head? I can't speak. Am I flying with a flight stick and a headset? Yes, I am using. I'm using a track IR for head movement, so I'm actually moving my head, and you can see that on my model. That my model will move with my head in game a little bit. This model doesn't really have a ton of articulation, so it doesn't match things that great, but it's still pretty neat. I've got then a HOTAS joystick, joystick and throttle. I'm using the Cytec X52 Pro. And then for pedals, I have a pair of MFG Crosswinds. Those don't really get used that much because the F-16 is a very cool 4th generation fighter. It has it's entirely fly-by-wire, and it will keep your it'll put the rudder input in for you, so you don't really need it when you're flying the F-16. You'll notice on my stream overlay there are 4 boxes, and actually my chat's not working. I didn't notice that. Chat, what you doing? Well, I'll have to figure out what the deal is with chat later, because normally chat appears in the MFD that's just to like right next to me. But then the other 3 squares, there's my right MFD, so you can see it's a clone of this one in game. Then there's the left MFD, which is a clone of this one in game, of course, and then there is my RWR, radar warning receiver. So that is up in my overlay. Yeah, more maintenance required. Ghosts taking over. We all have to become ghosts. Yes. I mean, Amonte is probably pretty willing to make me a ghost. Okay, let's contact AWACS. Vector to the nearest threat. Let's also, at the same time, fence in. So we're going to turn off our lights. Master Arm. Okay, AWACS hasn't seen anything. That's good. Wingman. We got an FA-18 that just popped up on our RWR. That's fine. It's friendly. Fence in. The Ghost in the Shell. Sorry, we don't have any androids here. Aside from my phone. All right, he's fenced in. Let's expand our radar. Expand our horizontal situation display. We've got some yellow chevrons on our fire control radar, which is the left MFD right now. The yellow chevrons mean it's something that our radar sees based off of it moving, but we can't lock it up because of ECM and stuffs, or it's just too stealthy for us to lock up with our radar at this point. We are at we're at a good altitude, so we're going to switch to altitude hold for our autopilot. Our autopilot is 2 switches here. We've got a pitch hold, or pitch control, which you can set to either hold an altitude or hold an attitude, so we can climb or descend with that. And then we have the roll control, which can either be set to a steer point, which is, if you look on this right display, there's a line with a white dot. Specifically, it's this white dot. I forgot that I can point into this in game because I've actually got a pair of MFDs on my desk that I'm using to control most of this stuff. But the steering select will fly our aircraft towards those waypoints, whereas the heading select will point us to wherever we set our heading that we want to go to. Oh, and I forgot another thing before I started this stream, which is this little disclaimer of, if there's any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Oh, we are going quite slow. Let's speed back up. Make sure my speed brakes are closed, because occasionally I've had the speed brakes open either due to control glitch or something else. And you'll see all these yellow threat rings going on, or yellow circles on the right MFD. Those are pre-planned air defense threats. So that means we found an air defense with like recon, and I put them into my data cartridge so we know where they are, and I know whether I'm threatened by them. Most of these should be perfectly inoperable at this point, because we've done a lot of destruction of enemy air defense and suppression of enemy air defense. But the ones that still have their missiles, I keep them up because we know that there's other smaller defense installations around them, and it's best to try to avoid them. We got a P on our RWR, which is a Patriot, an S with a caret over it, which is probably our AWACS. Let's ask them for a vector to nearest threat. Hopefully we don't run into a SAM field. Well, we are literally flying into a SAM field, but we've pulverized quite a lot of them so far. We can actually... I didn't get... oh, it is good. Okay. We've got a targeting pod, which is a really cool thingy. And we can... come on, targeting pod, work with me. Next steer point, okay. Targeting pod, look over somewhere else. Why do you not want to slew? I don't know. Well, we are not going to need our targeting pod for this, so we're not going to, well, we're not going to need it in this way. I was going to try to look at some of the SAM sites with it, but I don't really care at this point. Got an F, which is, according to our threat guide, it should be a search radar for something on the ground. F is search radar for the SA-3 and the SA-6. If we see a number like a 2, God, this jittery zoom is a little bit of a pain. I've got a failing potentiometer axis on my zoom slider, which is why it does that. I'm getting this throttle replaced eventually, but I gotta wait for it to actually, the one I'm ordering to actually come in. So if we see a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, 11, 15, or 17 on our RWR, then we know we're in real deep shit. But this leg of the flight might be pretty boring. Vector to threat. Nothing still, okay. How's our fuel doing? We're at 10,200. So we've got a big pair of external fuel tanks. You can kind of see them there. Not the 3 missiles, but this thing right here. Those carry a bunch of extra fuel for us, but once we're down to about 7,000 pounds of fuel, we can ditch them. We've got a B. What is a B? A B is an SA-5. That is roughly where I would expect it to be on the RWR. We got another radar contact. Let's IFF interrogate. No IFF response. Oh, he disappeared. Let's turn off our steering select so we can freely maneuver. No, I can't lock them up. And our rules of engagement in this theater and this campaign is we can't engage something until we have either visually identified it or we have asked AWACS if it is a hostile. So there he is. It's confirmed hostile, so we're going to go to MRM override mode, which is our missiles. And there's that SA-15 that shot missiles at us before on our RWR. He's at our about, what, 2 o'clock? And let's turn off our autopilot completely. We're 23 nautical miles away. Our missile will go pit bull at 19 miles, so we can wait a little bit and shoot later. All right, we're gonna fire. Fox 3. Our load cat switched. Yeah, it did. We're gonna turn to the side. He's not painting us with his radar yet. So I don't know what he is. Pitbull. All right, we can turn around. I'm flying full load. We are flying, we're not really flying with that heavy of a load. We're flying with 2 spare fuel tanks, 4 AMRAMs, and 2 Sidewinders. Well, something just locked us up. Search radar? That's not good. Let's try to fly out of here. We're at 9,900 for fuel. A Patriot locking us up, that's no big deal. Let's see if our missile, Okay, I can't see what the missile's doing. All right, looks like that was a MiG-21 we fired at because it's locking us up now. Let's turn back towards him. I'm basically trying to do what I remember of BVR. Oh, it looks like we probably hit something because something's down. Oh, we're pulling way too hard and we're going too slow. I think this is a MiG-21 right here. Oh, somebody got him. He was real close. I didn't realize how close he was. All right, let's get our radar range back up. Let's recenter our cursor. And I gotta trim my aircraft because we fired a missile off the left side, so our right wing's a little heavier. Okay, we look to be trimmed good. All right, let's turn. We're gonna turn left because I don't want to turn towards that SA-15. We're gonna hit altitude hold so we stay at our altitude and we don't drop too much. And let's check our data link, see if our allied aircraft are up in the air yet. I don't think so. Yeah, a lot of things popping up. We're gonna have to probably do some cleanup and take out some more of this stuff so I don't have to deal with it later. Maybe I should have brought a pair of harm missiles. We still have fuel in our external tanks, so I don't want to drop them yet because we don't really get a lot of fuel in this aircraft. And we're gonna, on our cold leg, we're gonna pull up and we're gonna try to get back to about 25,000 feet. If we check our cruise display here, I passed it. Our optimal flight altitude is actually about 27,000 feet, but we're just gonna go to about 25. All right, while we have a second, how is everybody in chat doing today? Oh. All these green 4s for our IFF interrogations. Oh man, so many aircraft operating in this theater. Let's go back to altitude hold for our whatchamacallit, autopilot. You're just playing some War Thunder, grinding for new ships. Yeah, I played some of the naval combat in War Thunder, and it was pretty hard to hit anything. But then I hopped into a motor torpedo boat, and I had a blast, pun intended. I'm seeing, I was wondering, why is there a squiggly dotted line here? But then I remember this is where one of my previous missions I had put some steer point lines to help me figure out where a convoy might go if it changes some directions. And that's still on our display. Yeah, I tend to prefer War Thunder for the tanks. Well, let's turn off missile override mode because we don't really need it. Oh, wrong button. Let's do an IFF interrogate, and we see so many 4s. How many things are in front of us? That's a big cloud of allied aircraft. It's at least a lot nicer to be flying into than anything else. All right, we're gonna hang a left turn. And we're gonna call up AWACS nearest threat. 30523. So that's like right behind us. And he's hot, MiG-21 two-ship. I miss the early days of War Thunder tanks where you would you'd pop into the M4 and then the sloped armor was like ultra godly because War Thunder didn't really realize how to calculate sloped armor quite yet. Hey, Ixie, how are you? Ow! What kind of missile was that? I didn't see it. Ouch! Another one. Oh, that one was an AMRAAM. I caught that one. Ow! Ow! Stinger! Ouch! Another stinger. Hey, AWACS, where's that threat again? Using a nuclear payload as flak. Yeah, guessing them while they're flying at me is pretty hard because I have to look at my other screen at just the right time. But flagship, you'd say nuclear payload is flak. There were missiles, there were surface-to-air missiles that fired with a nuclear warhead, and they were generally considered safe to use because there's that SA-15 search radar again. You sir, we're coming back for you, and I'm gonna bring harms, and you're gonna get harmed. But anyways, as I was saying, yeah, so the nuclear-tipped ones were generally considered pretty safe to use because sorry, that 15 was flashing to an M, so I had to just check on things. Because M usually means it's locking a missile or it has launched a missile. Then the diamond means it's locked onto you, which is really bad. Yeah, they were generally considered safe to use over populated areas because they were intended to be fired higher up in the atmosphere. And there were also air-to-air nukes used for wiping out bombers. So the radiation wouldn't make it through the atmosphere. Instead, it would turn into basically an EMP effect on the ground, which is horrifying nowadays. Oh, I see your hydrate. Excuse my track IR flipping out as I have to lift my head up to hydrate. AWACS, nearest threat, please. It's nothing, so we might have a pretty chill flight. Let's do another gentle left turn, and let's get our throttle back up a little. We are doing pretty... we're doing pretty good on fuel, because we are at this optimal altitude, so we're sitting at 9,100 pounds of fuel, and we don't want to drop our tanks until we're at about 7,000 pounds of fuel. Let's IFF interrogate this contact. Yeah, there's all friendly because of course we're pointing back towards friendly territory. Oh no, Ixie, you want that? Fine. Moe moe kyun. AWACS, anything? Nope, nothing yet. Where were all those aircraft we saw before? It's such a shame. Honestly, part of the problem is that we are doing quite well in this campaign. I took out a couple enemy airfields that had like full loads of fighters, and so because I destroyed the runway, those fighters can't take off. And our #1 campaign priority has been countering air, so we're not encountering air because we've countered all of the air, or at least most of it. So like we're still on day 1. We're actually only 9 hours, 11 minutes into this war. It has been pretty short so far. But we have done quite an amount of damage on the enemy Air Force. We've also done quite an amount of damage on the enemy's ground forces. Let's check our data link and see if anything is, if that other flight is out yet. I don't see them positioned yet. Okay. There's that S-15 again, locking, or showing us its radar. I swear to God, I am going to come back here with a harm, and I'm going to take that guy out because I'm sick of those S-15s. I wish I knew how to save steer points in this, because then I could set a steer point roughly on where it is. Or if I was actually smart, I would have brought my HAD pod so I could narrow down where the radar is and know exactly where he is for next time I sortie. And the HAD pod is just a radiation sensor pod, so it looks for radar signatures. Yes, friendly aircraft in front of us. They're oh no, they're quite far out. So I didn't notice the scale on that display. AWACS, nearest threat. Oh. That S-15 is like right under us. Let's get away from here. Unfortunately, today we are the mouse in the cat and mouse game of air versus air defenses, because we didn't bring any anti-radiation missiles with us today. Man, I'm starting to think we're not going to see anything. Let's get a little brave, and we're gonna do a left-hand turn. Let's check our HSD. So I don't exactly have a great map. I'm gonna have to put more steer point lines so I can see where the heck things are, but let's try to get over to this area and see if there's any aircraft that we can engage. It's all friendlies in front of us still. And our fuel bingo level should be, what, 1,500? Yeah, 1,500. We'll put a little bit more margin to that. Let's, which is that? That's for bingo. Let's set it to about 2,000 so we have a little bit more margin, because we're going to be flying a little farther away. All right, Ixie, thanks for stopping by. Hope you sleep well. I think I can actually make steer points somehow with this HSD, but I do not know that. What other aircraft can you fly in this game? I don't know them offhand, but the other aircraft in this game, I'll start off by saying, are not modeled nearly as well as the F-16. Generally, they use avionics from the F-16 because there aren't really any other avionics modeled. And this game is the BMS version of this game, because this is Falcon 4.0 BMS. BMS is a heavy mod to Falcon 4.0, which came out in 1998. So this game has been around for like 25 years. And so the modders have added more aircraft that you can fly. So you can fly the F-15, which has its cockpit, but it's a lot of F-16 systems. You can fly the F-A-18 and the Harrier, and then there's a whole bunch of other ones that have basically just adjusted F-16 flight model and avionics, and you'll pop into some of those and they'll have the F-16 cockpit as well. I would have to pull out the manual to tell you the list of all the aircraft that you could fly in this. But what is really nice about this game compared to DCS is it has this really well-made dynamic campaign. So there's ground units moving, and there's all sorts of squadrons of aircraft doing things, and all of it's coordinated very well. You can plan your own strike missions, or you can let the AI do it, but the AI can sometimes be a little dumb in how it picks up your choices. Hey, Airshow, how have you been doing? We fired one AMRAAM, and I think we hit something, but we haven't seen anything else since. I think we've killed everything in this area. You're retraining on Hornets right now? I would like to fly the Hornet, except the problem I have is I have enough trouble with standard landings. I think carrier landings are going to be a real pain. And there is carrier ops in this game. Let's see, we've got an 18 and an 18 flying towards us. At least their radar's painting us. Is that? Yeah, that's them. Vroom, vroom, vroom. Yeah, there's actually there's another VTuber I like to watch who plays flight sims, and until recently he flew with an Xbox controller, which I find really impressive because he was flying quite well. We got a 5. Oh no, that's an A and an S. I thought that was a 5. Hey, AWACS, nearest air threat. Nothing at all. There's that SA-15 again. We lost some of them. SA-15 still there. I swear I will be back for you. Milsim game you've been eyeballing, but it's about $100. What game is that? Man, nothing out here. Nothing at all. Let's see if our other flight is up. Nope. Where the heck are they? Or is my data link maybe just not set quite right? We can check the data link. Yeah, looks like it's set up all right. It's on UHF, yes. All looks good. We're at just under 8,000 pounds of fuel. Nothing going on, huh? Yeah, no data on that other flight. I wonder where they are. Give me a picture. Clear, of course. Of course. I'm starting to miss that first campaign I was doing where there were just crap loads of enemy aircraft up at all times because China got involved. Sweet G... What? What? What the heck is that call? 18, okay, no big deal. Bunch of friendly aircraft in front of us. All right. Not much going on in this mission. Could somebody explain what the Sweet Jesus NATO brevity code is? And what swish is? Swish. Let's see, is our targeting pod on steer point? No. Yeah, we're still too far away to actually even see what's going on. I think that is that radio chatter we're hearing is the other flight coming in and dropping their GBUs. Oh, our aircraft is in strafe mode. Neat. I don't think we want to get low enough to strafe anything. That sounds like a death wish. Let's go back to air-to-air mode and also nearest threat, anything at all? Nothing at all. Swishes what you could do if you had longer hair, but my hair swishes a little bit here as I give everybody motion sickness by moving my camera around way too much. FA-18 behind us. Yeah, no big deal. Come on, bring out the J-20s again. I kind of missed them. I didn't delete them from this campaign, I swear. A swish redeem? Oh, God. Maybe some other time. I don't see anything burning down there. And targeting pod doesn't see anything at all in that area. But why can't I slew my targeting pod? I'm just gonna hit buttons till it works. Come on, targeting pod. You know you want to. What is that? Oh boy, big graphical glitch. Mr. Targeting Pod, don't you want to slew for me? Alright, Air Show, thanks for stopping by. Hope you sleep well. Let's do another data link, because I think they might have just taken off. Well, yeah, we can see them on our data link now. AWACS, nearest air threat. Nothing. Nothing at all. Wow. I want something to shoot at. Now, what is up with our... What is up with our targeting pod not slewing? I've had this before, and I took care of it somehow. I don't remember. That is just so odd, because I can slew all my other cursors, just not the targeting pod. And I can't use TMS up to point track anything. Huh. Yeah, I'm stumped. Maybe we can turn it off, turn it back on again. Standby, A to ground. No. Standby. A to ground. No. Huh. I mean, it'll look at our steer points if we change it. $18, locking us up a little. No big deal. All right, AWACS, vector to nearest air target. Nothing. Okay, we're probably going to just head back to base then. Where's our allied flight? They're egressing now? Did they actually hit their targets, or are they just being dumb? Well, let's fly back to base, I guess. Use some time acceleration. We can use some autopilot. We can ask nearest air target. Nothing still. Everything looks clear. Sun's starting to go down. Why am I suddenly hearing engine noises? Nearest air threat. Nothing still. All right, we can now start our descent. Just IFF interrogate again. What is this? It didn't respond on IFF. Let's do another interrogate. Okay, now it's responding. AWACS, nearest threat. Nothing still, nothing, nothing, nothing. Command Modern Operations, I have not heard of that. All right, let's fence out. Let's turn our lights back on. Turn our master arm off. Tell our wingman to fence out. About 30 nautical miles out from Kunsan, so let's call up, let's switch over to the approach frequency. Request unrestricted approach. Two 2982. All right. Let's speed up time a little bit.
Altitude.
Yep, I know. We're descending on purpose. Runway lights are on now because it's starting to get dark. Let's do a bit of a right turn, and then we're going to turn left towards the runway. Oh, it looks like an A-10's landing. Oh, what the heck just exploded there? All right, contact tower. Request landing. All right, runway 18, that's the direction facing us. Let's throw our throttle back to flight idle. Let's open up our speed brakes. We'll bleed off some of this speed. It's going to make our approach take a little longer, but oh well. And then once we turn onto the runway, we'll drop our landing gear. And I'm definitely not going to be checking chat from now until we are off the runway. So let's get our gear down now because we're a bit closer than I expected. We will report on final. All right, we don't have landing clearance yet, but they've told us to continue inbound. All right, so we're gonna have to drop some altitude and some speed here. Let's get our engine spooling back up because we're starting to get right onto the ideal glide slope. There we go. Now we got to get our flight path marker onto the runway. All right, we're cleared for landing, and we got 3 green lights, so our gear is down and locked. We got like a very slight crosswind. You got 2 whites, 2 reds on, oh, now it's 3 reds, but we should be fine with this landing angle, I hope. Apply a little bit of power. All right, reduce power a little bit. And just come straight in for the landing. Oh, we hit a little hard. All right, let's continue our flare. And let's do max braking because we got plenty of runway left. Okay. I thought we had less runway left than we did. All right, and nose wheel steering is on. Let's get ourselves off the runway so our wingman can land. We can see our wingman on final approach there. And then let's request a taxi back. Cleared all the way in. Good, good. And we're just going to park somewhere random again. We can turn our HUD off so we don't have to see all that while we're trying to taxi. I'm glad that so far we have not had a bad landing because I keep getting landings where I hit too hard and then my aircraft is just, you know, like destroys its landing gear and it's going to break, so I have to punch out on the runway. And I'm also pretty sure that my commanding officer does not appreciate me destroying my aircraft every time I sortie. And we can engine off, parking brake, and we can end our mission. I'd say we had a good sortie, but, well, I guess it's a good one since we came back in one piece. I'll take that. Imagine getting docked to pay for a botched landing. Yeah. So we both hit a MiG-21, looks like. Okay, that's good. And we can look at the air status, and yeah, there is no enemy aircraft like up at all. Oh, and here's that steer point set that I mentioned before. You can recon this, and this is only one of the 5 tank battalions is only left, and they're 79% operational, so that's pretty good. We can recon this group. This group is a bit more of a threat because they've got 2 battalions. They're 70% operational. They're kind of rolling in towards us, so we may want to take them out. But it looks like there's an A-10 probably tasked on this already. Imagine breaking a B-2 bomber. Yeah, of the aircraft to break, I would prefer to break the F-16 by far because they're pretty cheap. Let's see what the tactical reference says about that. Multi-role F-16, Block 52, general information. That is $18 million for an F-16. Or a bone is 415 million. Or a B-2 Spirit that's a lot of zeros. 210 million. So that's actually cheaper than the bone, unless I'm missing a zero there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, that's 2 billion instead of 210 million. Oops, I can't math. All right, so is there even any enemy air forces left for us to attack? We can check the intel and we can go to force levels, aircraft, and we can see that they've got, oh god, they have like none left. Oh boy, because they started with like this is 150, so this has got to be like 20, 25 aircraft left. Holy crap. This isn't even fair anymore. They've got plenty of ground forces left. What is this? Recon supply battalion. We could start bombing supply trucks. But they are hidden in a city, and I don't think we want to do collateral damage on a city. What's this? Self-propelled gun battalion. We got an HQ battalion that is mostly destroyed. What's this? That's a motor rifle. Yeah, so that's just one division. That's not that big of a deal. Okay, let's recon this again. Do they have an SA-15 anywhere? No, I don't see anything. So this is the part of the problem that we're having, because there is no indication where the SA-15s are. So if we want to take them out, we're going to have to go through a bit of a sweep to find them. Okay, so none on you. Okay. Motor Rifle Battalion, no reported SA-15s. All right, let's add a package. New, we're going to do dead. They're going to take off at, so they're going to take off at 10:16, and it looks like we can't really do anything about that. Okay, yeah, so let's add a package. New, we're just going to leave the time as whatever. So we're going to plan to overfly this. And then we're going to, okay, recon this with Rocket Battalion. Do you have any? Nope. You, what are you? Supply Battalion, that's right. Nothing, okay. I think we're going to do one more mission tonight, and I think I want to hunt down those SA-15s if possible. Ouch. Ouch. Hey, Tank, how are you? Oh, we have an HQ battalion here, which should have SA-15. I think those are probably the ones that have been pissing us off. So we are going to fly, we're going to fly in, we're going to take this one out because this one's really close to our base and it's quite a bit of a threat, and I'd like to take that out. Then next we want to go after this one. So we're going to fly over here. We're going to fly in and try to take that out. Let's move our frontline indicator up just a bit so we can kind of have a bit more situational awareness and know when we got to fence in. How's war? We are doing quite well. The biggest concern we have right now is, well, basically some air defenses. There's still some up that have been hassling us, and then ground units. So like there's this ground group here. These are these old steer point lines I got to remove. Let's remove those. Remove, okay. And so this is a, oh, no, don't add a package. Recon. So this was like 5 tank battalions, and they're now heavily decimated because we kept hitting them with sensor-fused cluster bombs. There's another one that's kind of close, this one, but we hit them quite a bit. This one also used to be 5 battalions, and now it's just like 2 that are about 70% effective. We're going to be hitting this HQ battalion. We're doing destruction of enemy air defense again, but we're taking out the shorter range ones. So what we're looking for is these SA-15 missile systems. So they're self-propelled mobile ones, so we're going to have to actually Wild Weasel this one. Whereas previously, to destroy enemy air defenses, we were just dropping small diameter bombs with a good standoff off on them. But for this, we're going to have to fly towards these SA-15s until they actually turn on their radar. And then we're going to have to fire a anti-radiation harm missile at them. And I want to take out multiple because we're going to get 4 harms, and hopefully if we can do things well, we'll take out this one, and then we can take out this one in the same flight. And, oh, this was set as a pre-planned cast instead of what I intended, which was a dead mission, but oh well. We'll adjust our loadout, so air to ground, oh no, air to ground. We want the AGM-88 harms, perfect. And then for other, I want a sniper targeting pod, as well as the HTS, which is a radiation sensor. So after I fire my harms, I'll be able to tell my wingman to fire his harms at things. Oh, I just saw chat reload. Hopefully everything's still running well on the stream. And everything, yeah, this loadout looks good. We should have plenty of fuel for this mission. Let's go. Interesting how it has generated these takeoff points in a different area. Okay, let's save. All right. Actually, let's add a package. This is going to be a 4 aircraft pre-planned CAS. We're going to set them to take off quite a bit after us. Oh, come on, work with me, game. No slots available. Okay, so we want them to be actually. Okay, we're just going to set that and see what happens. I wonder what's going on with the no slots available for takeoff. Okay, so this one, we are going to be on station waypoint 8. We're going to be there about 10 minutes early, so that should be fine because we want to try to take out this guy before the other CAS flight comes in. And we'll schedule this one later after we kind of confirm we can take this one out. All right, now let's double check that the loadout's still here. Yep, everything looks good. Save. And I'll switch over to weapon delivery planner and we will open our mission again. And we are package 2094, pre-planned CAS. Okay, so we have rotation speed 160. Let's update our knee boards. It's thinking, and it's thinking, and it's thinking. Set default, save. And it's thinking. All right, knee board saved. We can hide weapon delivery planner, switch to the big game capture, and we'll take off. Actually, wait. I have to com plan and IFF plan, make sure that those are updated and save my data cartridge before we do this. All right. Now take off. Oh, shoot, I forgot to show you, Tank, that we had severely crippled the enemy's air force so far. We have, like, basically taken out all of their aircraft, or at least taken out all of the their airfields, so they can't scramble what aircraft they do have left. Okay, probe heat on, fuel source. I'm having trouble clicking things. Okay, there we go. Fuel source normal, IFF normal, lights on, main power on, engine start 2, air source normal, oxygen on, engine anti-ice on. Oh, oxygen didn't turn on. Comms on. And then check our RPM. We're just got to wait for that to climb up to 20% again. And I'm wondering if the sun's going to be completely down by the time we land. So we might have to do a night ILS landing. All right, we're at 20%. Throttle to idle. Also, Tank, how have you been? I thought you were going to be really, really busy soon. All right. Engine is on. Let's get our avionics on again. And us to align. Let's get our hard points on and our radars on. So you'll be back full-time in late June, early July. That's good to hear, I hope. Load our data cartridge, okay. Let's get our taxi lights. No, I can't click this thing, okay. Lock our canopy. Power up the RWR and the countermeasures. Chaff and flare. Mode auto. Symbology on. Let's turn on ILS because we might need that. And the missile warning up. ECM pod on because we absolutely are going to want ECM because we're flying ourselves into the middle of missiles. Let's reset that FLCS warning. And we'll hit FAC. All right, and our fire control radar is warming up. INS is still aligning. Let's do our head-mounted display calibration. Nope, that was not list. And then MISC and HMCS and align failed. Align okay, all right. HMCS is good. Let's, before I fly, set our A low to 15,000 feet. Although I don't know if we're really going to be flying above that all the time because we might have to fly low to coax those SAMs into turning their fire control radar on to us. Steer point 2, although we don't have our INS. Okay, now our INS is aligned. Let's get INS into nav mode. All right, we see our steer points. And let's get our radio into tower. Oh, let's put our parking brake on before we take the chocks off. Remove the EPU pin, remove the chocks. Request taxi for departure. Runway 18, all right. Nose wheel steering on. Taxi to runway 18. I'm really hoping that if they have us land, that when they have us land, they'll have us land runway 36, which is opposite of where we're taking off, because I know the ILS set up for that. Actually, let me just check ILS. CP. .3, so let's get this just set up anyway. 110.3. Oh. 1103. Course is 356. TACAN is set right. Okay. So hopefully ILS is now set up just right, so if we come in for a landing, it will work. We got an 18 on our RWR. Okay, so there's some FA-18 still flying around. We are almost 10 hours into this war, and our pilot has flown, like, I think, 8 sorties in this day. He's doing a lot of flying for this war. All right, our fire control radar is done. Let's just get that turned on right now. We'll get our altimeter on. See the windsock. Okay, the wind's blowing like towards us right now. F16 on our RWR, all right. Oh, my wingman didn't taxi yet. Excuse me, wingman, would you like to taxi over?
7-1, contact tower for takeoff. Switch to 29230. Panther 1, 2-ship F-16s inbound for landing. Falcon 7, 2-ship F-16s ready for departure.
Come on, sir, aren't you gonna...
Hold short.
You gotta taxi out and join me.
Kunshan Tower, continue inbound for runway 18, report overhead.
Let's speed up. We're gonna see if he is gonna come join us for this takeoff. The 16's on our RWR, so they're there. They're gonna do an overhead brake.
1, brake right. 2.
Yeah, so this guy is gonna come around and then land, and one is gonna circle around, and then once he's done and landed, this guy will come in and land. The overhead brake is cool, and a lot of people talk it up because it allows things to land in a shorter span of time. I don't feel comfortable really trying to land like that because I have enough trouble landing with a long straight-in approach as it is. Got a big contrail from something up here. I wonder what that is. Looks like AWACS, maybe? Don't see the radar dish, though. That might be a tanker.
Panther 1, Kunshan Tower, wing 190 at 7 knots. Runway 18, cleared for landing. Check gear down.
Come on, wingman, come on. You gonna join me? And you know you want to.
Panther 1-1, contact below. Switch to 73525. Panther 1-2, contact below. Switch to
All right, now he's finally taxiing out.
73525.
You gonna come join me? We're burning daylight, bro.
Falcon 7, 2-ship F-16s ready for departure.
Falcon 7, Kunshan Tower, wing 190 at 7 knots. Runway 1.
All right, now we got him moving again. We're gonna hold short until he actually gets up to us. So that way we don't tie up the active runway forever. Where did he go? There he is. Come on, man, come on. Let's speed up time. All right, we're gonna get onto the runway. Switch to our takeoff and landing lights. Line up on the runway. And we'll stop. And here is our wingman coming in, finally. All right, and let's check our information. V rotate 160, all right. Hold the brakes, throttle up. Release the brakes. $160, rotate. Rotate, rotate, come on. All right, positive rate of climb, gear up. Contact departure.
Contact departure.
2, airborne.
Airborne.
Falcon 7, airborne. 2 ship, F-16s.
Fly heading to,
Time departure. Fly heading 280. Resume on navigation.
all right, 280, resume on navigation. Switch to the AWACS frequency, ask for a picture.
Magic 7, Falcon 7-1. Request picture.
Falcon
Falcon 7-2. On my way.
is one group. 34096.
So 96 nautical miles away, there's one group. That's not too bad. Not much to worry about at this point. Let's get our autopilot on. So let's do attitude hold, and we'll do steering selection so it goes to our waypoint. And let's get our, we'll just leave our waypoints on auto or a manual. We've got a cluster of 16s painting us, okay. And we got an excess of speed, so we're gonna pull up more. While I'm at it, I'm going to fence in because we are pretty close to our intended target. I'm going to tell number 2 to fence in as well.
1, fenced in. 2,
Let's climb a bit steeper. Try to keep our speed at 300 knots. All right.
in position.
All right, our wingman's on our wing. And it should be a quiet flight until we actually ingress the AO. Let's check our air to ground mode. Let's get our targeting pod. Let's get our fire control radar set back into air mode for this because we don't really need ground mode for that. All right, well, we might want it because we're hunting down targets. Oh, we're going too slow. Push the nose down. Power up our AGM 88s. Switch to the head display. Targeting pod, standby, air to ground. We might want you. Are you going to let me slew you this time? No. What is going on with that? All right, well, it is Wild Weasel time. Oh, hey, now we can slew our targeting pod, finally. We had a whole problem with that last mission. All right, switch back to our fire control radar. All right, let's turn to ingress to our target. We'll adjust our steer point directly onto the target. Oh, shoot, I went in the wrong order for steer points. All right, targeting pod, what do you see? You see nothing. Let's get our, oh, I didn't turn on instrument lights, and we're going to really need those. Let's get some interior lights on so we can actually read our control or our knee boards. Let's bring up the threat guide. So we are hunting an SA-15. Just going to have a fire control radar code of 15 or M. So that's what we're going to be looking for on our right MFD. Right now we see the search radar from that SA-2 battery, which we already took out a fire control radar, so we're not too concerned about the search radar right now. Although 2A, what's 2A? 2A should be... I think 2A is the search for the SA-2. We've got a B on our RWR, which is another type of search radar. Let's put our aircraft into altitude hold and take it out of steering selection because we want to be flying this direction. Master arm is on, our radar missiles are good, okay. We're flying low enough that we might be able to entice this SA-15 to shoot at us, which is the whole goal of this sortie. Well, we don't want him to shoot at us, we want him to actually just paint us with his radar. And let's slew our radar over, our targeting pod over, and let's try to see if we can't find anything. I think I see some vehicles here on our... Oh, let's turn our landing lights off. All right, we'll zero out that cursor and put this back into wide. I don't see that SA-15 yet. Switch back to the fire control radar, make sure there's nothing there. I don't see anything. AWACS, nearest threat. 99 nautical miles away, that's fine. Cursor 0. What are these? I can't make these out. TV mode, anything? I don't see anything in TV mode. We're not going to see anything because it's basically night. And there's some clouds between us. Wonder where those Tor missiles are. Oh, I see him. I see him. You, sir, are gonna get lidded soon. Turn off autopilot. So we have the freedom to maneuver. Where is our... cursor? Oh, our target should be... it should be straight ahead. We got an A. Okay, that's not too big of a deal. Let's shorten our HUD display. Man, if I just had a Maverick, I could take this guy out. But man, I brought Harms. Shouldn't this be showing me? It should be showing me his steer point location, but it's not. He's like directly on that steer point though. Oh, because I'm not actually in... Well, no, wait. I'm in air-to-ground mode, so it should be showing me that. Huh. A little weird. Oh, come on. You want to shoot me, don't you? Fire up that radar. I see him. I see him. He's got his radar on. PGM-3, come on. PGM-2, PGM-2. Fire. Magnum.
Altitude. Altitude.
Splash! Yeah, we got him! Nice! See if you ever shoot at me again. Alright, switch back to our horizontal situation display. We will switch to waypoint 7. Switch back to our fire... wait, no, we want that. Switch back to nav mode. We're going to climb and take a gentle left turn. We'll get back onto the heading for our next steer point, and we'll be there to ingress to our next target. And hopefully we'll take out that next S-15. Some good wild weaseling going on. Oh, we got to trim our aircraft to compensate because we fired one missile off our right wing. So our left wing is a bit heavy. Or no, we fired one off our left wing, so our right wing is heavy. Okay, autopilot, get you on altitude hold because we're at a good altitude. And then we'll get heading, our steering selection set. Good. Excuse me. Just a calm flight as we prepare to head into fly straight at an enemy sand battery. Nothing nerve-wracking about that at all, huh? Oh, I think you just lost game audio when I tabbed out, but I'm gonna check another thing because I've been having some issues with my chat not displaying. I don't know what's going on with that. Huh. Yeah, nothing I can think of to fix that right now. We got an air contact in front of us. Let's IFF interrogate, and it's 4s green, so all friendlies. Got another Patriot radar painting us, or sweeping over us. Let me take another drink of water. Got another 16 on our RWR, a little ways out. What's our fuel doing? We're at about 9,000 pounds of fuel. Okay. Let's up our radar range, see if we can't see anything out there. It looks like nothing, of course. Nothing but a whole boatload of friendly aircraft. So something else I'm going to have to look up, which is was confusing me, is our targeting pod was looking, or our waypoint on our HUD isn't displaying right now, when normally in air-to-ground mode it does display on your HUD, your HMCS, so you can look out, and like if it was 90 degrees to our side, we'd see a little diamond for where things are. But we're not getting that at the moment. And I think I had read about why that was, and there's a certain configuration you got to be in to... there's certain changes of where that display is based off of your configuration of various avionic systems, but I don't remember that at the moment. Let me at him. That's not good. Nearest vector to threat? Nothing.
Falcon 7, Nancy 7 are controlling, but nothing's good.
Yeah, there's nothing we're looking at. All right, let's ingress to waypoint 7 or 6. A bunch of 16s and an 18 on our RWR, so it's all friendlies. still seeing 2A, which should be the search radar for the SA-2. It's not a high priority target, but we can do some bombing missions to take them out later. Probably not today. Okay, here's our targeting pod. It's looking at what looks like some vehicles. We're still quite a ways out. I'm going to fly an offset to this, so I'm going to change my heading cursor, and we're going to switch to heading select. So I want to fly a little bit of offset. I don't want to overfly the target, because you want a little bit of offset, because if you fly directly at a target, you don't get their radar location quite as precisely, or you don't pick it up quite as quickly with the HAD mode. However, if you fly like a 45-degree angle, it does work pretty well, or a 90-degree angle works even better. It looks like we're 27 nautical miles out. That's that little number to the left here. And then this is the distance, the size of one of these cursors, I think, in meters. Oh, oh, oh! Targeting pod. Targeting pod. Nope. Let me slew you. I see your SA-15. Haha. You can just barely see it. But you can see his radar moving, which means it's him. All right, now we got an IR point lock onto him. We got an F, which is another search radar. And on our HSD, we see that plus, I can illustrate for you guys. This little plus is right where our targeting pod cursor is, so he's not too far off our original waypoint. So we know exactly where to look for him. We'll move our HSD cursor right up to find him. And he is on the move, actually, this is gonna be a textbook case for why we need arms. We're gonna drop some altitude to coax him into firing, but we're gonna keep our speed up because we don't want to lose speed. And we have quite a lot of fuel left. Our tanks aren't empty yet, but we're going to jettison them. And I am dumb, because I just jettisoned my... frick. I just jettisoned my harm, but I have my wingman to take care of that for me. All right, we don't see him on radar yet. So we're not quite close enough. Come on, turn on your radar. There he is. All right, wingman, attack my target.
Falcon 7-2, attack target at bearing 285. And 2, Wilco.
Magnum. All right, let's turn cold. Get away from this guy. And we're going to have to turn a bit further so we can keep the targeting pod on him. Ah, good hit, good hit. Awesome.
Falcon 7-2, on my way.
Okay, so even though we jettisoned our harm by mistake, we still completed the mission, which is what counts. And now let's request nearest vector to the threat.
Falcon 7-1.
Nothing at all. Okay.
Falcon 7, Mantic 7, I've been trolling, but nothing's good.
All right, now we need to vector back onto our home base, which is waypoint 1. Yeah, so what I should have done is I should have gone into here, this right MFD, and I would have hit some of the MFD buttons to select those tanks, and then dropped them. But because I am SMRT, I did not do that, and instead I jettisoned my harm, because hitting the emergency stores jettisons all your air-to-grounds and tanks. Oh, and we're going to want to climb up a bit more to make sure we stay above that missile floor. Yes, this waypoint, and we will put ourselves into steering selection and attitude hold, not altitude hold. And we'll use some time acceleration to get us back to base a bit faster. And hear all of the pretty RWR sounds as they warn us about things that are not actually enemies. All right, waypoint 4. All right. So, yeah, that went a lot easier than I thought. Because I thought we were going to have to get quite a bit closer to those SA-15s before they would paint their radar, and I was worried we were going to have some missiles thrown at us. All right, let's turn off our acceleration, turn off our autopilot, start descending.
In position.
Shrink our horizontal situation display down. We'll start descending. And we'll get ready to make a landing. And let's fence out, so we'll turn our lights back on. Tell our wingman to fence out.
1, fence out. 2,
I don't see you two. He's back into my left. But yeah, I don't see his lights yet. At least we can see him behind us on our data link. A little more time acceleration just to get us closer.
Altitude.
Send through the missile floor, but we're fine. We'll turn on our night vision, but it's not going to help us a lot. Let's get onto the approach frequency, and we'll tell them we are requesting an unrestricted approach.
Falcon 7-1, two-shift F-16s, 10 miles, northeast, 6,000.
Runway 18, so we're not going to be able to do an ILS landing for this, I don't think.
Turn the sound approach. Continue inbound, the straight-in approach. Runway 18, welcome back. Q8H2 980.
Or we can try.
7-1, contact tower for landing. Switch to 29230.
Request landing.
Falcon 7-1, F-16 inbound for landing.
Deploy our speed brakes because we are pretty close.
7-1, Kunshan Tower. Continue inbound for runway 18. Report on final.
Drop our landing gear. We'll get down to about 2,000 feet and then make our left, probably make our left turn at about the same time. We'll line up with the runway. All right, let's get this approach done. Report on final.
Falcon 7-1, on final.
Falcon 7-1, Kunshan Tower. Continue inbound for runway 18.
Okay, so we're above the glide slope. That's expected.
Falcon 7-1, Kunshan Tower. Wing 190 at 3 knots. Runway 18. Cleared for landing. Check gear down.
Just slow down a bit. So we maintain our AOA and try to stay on glide slope. We're a little slow, little slow, little slow, little slow. Speed up, speed up, speed up. Okay, a little rough, but still a good landing. And I realized I forgot to turn my landing lights on even. Oops. All right. And where can we get off this runway? Looks like here. No, not here. Oh yeah, there's blue taxiway marker lights. I have very, very little experience doing anything night operations on this.
Falcon 7-1, contact log. Switch to 73525.
All right, that's another good mission. So we will end the mission. Here we go. Took out those 2 SA-15s that were really pissing us off. Mission success, heavy damage inflicted to the target, which is good. And we see that my harm, yeah, hit the SA-15, destroyed it. And this hit an SA-15 and destroyed it. Perfect. I'll stop this timer, and then we will save. It's important to save, otherwise it doesn't save your progress. I've made that mistake before. But all right, thanks everybody for stopping by. I'm gonna find somebody to raid, and we're gonna wrap up. So let me see who is streaming right now, and I've got two notifications from Twitch. Okay, I had no idea what those were, but it looks like Shauna is streaming. So we are going to throw a raid in her direction. Let's go to Stream Manager. Give me just a second to get this raid started. All right, starting the raid. Started playing Hell Let Loose. I don't know what that game is. What's it about? World War II shooter. I'll have to check that out then. But we're going to send this raid over to Shauna. So thanks everybody again for watching, and I will see you next time.